Since God is my consciousness, and God or truth fills my consciousness, and is the substance of the form of everything within my universe, even if it appears as a tree or a flower, an enemy or a friend, everything in my universe responds to that awareness. I embrace my universe within my consciousness, a universe formed of and by that consciousness. And because my consciousness is filled with truth, my universe manifests the activity, quality, and substance, the nature and the character of truth, of eternality and immortality. I stand at the doorway of my consciousness, permitting nothing of a discordant nature to enter, maintaining in it its purity as that place through which God flows to all the world. All who enter my spiritual household, my temple, find therein the peace and joy which becomes the substance of their being, their bodies, or their pocketbooks. This God consciousness envelops them, governs and sustains them, and reveals this truth as the truth of their own individual being, so that they in turn become a law not only to themselves, but to all who look to them for help. Do not forget to take into consideration all three parts of your patient's being, the spirit or soul, the mind, and the body. First, understand God to be soul, the spirit, and the life of all being. Realize that the mind of every single individual is an instrument through which God functions, and that the body is the temple of the living God. Then you are beholding a whole man, all one, all parts of the whole, and that whole is God. God is the consciousness of individual being. In that divine consciousness, there are no laws of matter, no laws of weather. No beliefs operate in the mind, which is the instrument of the consciousness of God. There is only one presence, one power, one consciousness, and that God consciousness is the consciousness of the group. God constitutes the mind, the life, and the soul of my family. Nothing can enter from without to create discord or inharmony, because all law and government are from within, from the divine consciousness, which is the life of the individual and the family. In your treatment, your first recognition is that this is a suggestion of a selfhood apart from God, and that leaves you to forget the patient and the condition. The entire truth that you know is about God, and the entire treatment remains on the level of God. If God is infinite being, there is no other being. There is no person separate and apart from God. There cannot be God as infinite being and some other being besides God. God is an all-inclusive good, and besides that good, there is nothing else. Furthermore, if God is infinite, God must include all law and be the only law. That eliminates all possibility of any law other than the law of God. Therefore, in the spiritual kingdom, no laws of matter can operate. In that kingdom, there can be no law of contagion or infection. There can be no laws of material evil. There is only God law, spiritual law, perfect, complete, harmonious, all-enforcing, and self-enforcing. There is nothing to oppose the law of God, nothing to contend against it. God alone is the law. God is life, the only life, the life of the individual you and me. The life of God can never be sick or weakened, nor can it be subject to external influences of any nature other than God. Your entire treatment is kept in the realm of God, in the realization of God as individual life, individual mind, individual law, spirit, substance, and of God as the only cause. If God is the only cause, God must be the only effect. And if God is the only effect, that ends the treatment right there. You have nothing to meet now but God. God is cause, God is effect, God is life, God is law, God is all true being. By means of the first half of the treatment, you have lifted yourself above fear and above appearance. The appearance may have been John Jones with a claim of the flu, but by remaining in the realm of God's completeness, you have long since lost any thought of John Jones or his problem. You are now tabernacling with God and his angels. You have come to the end of your part of the treatment, and you now take the attitude of listening, as if you really expect to hear a voice. Sooner or later, there comes a deep breath, a click, sometimes a message, but usually something of a nature that brings release. The responsibility is gone and now rests on his shoulders. That ends the treatment as far as you are concerned, and you can now dismiss it because God is on the field, and it is no longer your responsibility. In almost every case, you will find some human or material sense of law operating. It may be a law of infection or contagion, or a law of decomposition or breakage. Always some kind of law has been laid down humanly, and that must be recognized as but of the substance of hypnotism. The problem may be one of organic or functional disease, and then into the treatment might come the realization that just as the leaves and stem do not govern the life of the plant, but that life governs it, so the organs and functions of the body do not govern life. Life governs the organs and functions of the body. As long as life is flowering, the plant flourishes. The stem and leaves are but an outer expression of the life force within. In the same way, it is not the heart, the liver, or the lungs which determine life. God is life, and that life cannot be affected by the organs and functions of the body. Therefore, you do not have to be concerned about whether they act in accordance with laws laid down by Materia Medica. By reversing those laws and realizing that life governs every activity of the body, it will manifest harmony and painlessness. In this realization of the true government of the body, you do not come down to the level of the body. You have merely corrected the belief that the body affects life by understanding that life governs the body. The heart could not beat without life beating it. The digestive or limitative organs could not work if there were not an intelligence and a life permeating those organs and acting in, on, and through them. The organs and functions of the body should not be feared. They do not have within them the power of destruction, death, or disease, because inherent in every person is the power of God, which is the resurrection even to the dead body, the dead organ, the dead function, or the dead muscle. Within individual consciousness is the power of resurrection.